Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Dr. King Day. Um, Great day. Peace to all you guys out there. Um, Man, props to people like Gil Scott Heron and Stevie Wonder for being a mad part of making this day happen. Um, Dr. King's legacy definitely reigns supreme. And in a sense, even now, with just a lot of the things going on in this world, let alone this country, um, his life spoke volumes in a lot of ways. I mean, people will always have good and bad things to say about you, but for us, especially of a lot of black people, he, you know, pretty much laid his life on the line, you know. And the long tradition of a lot of our forefathers and mothers, our ancestors, you know, what this day means to me, it means to continue to attain what that dream is. A lot of people, you know, are so stuck on the I have a dream speech, they don't realize that Dr. King was not just talking about, he has a dream of all this stuff going on. He was making it a point to show you how you get to that dream. I have a lot of, it's funny. I've heard arguments where, um, you have some white people, not all white people, but some white people that'll say, well, you know, why aren't you all about Dr. King? Because I'm pointing out issues that I don't think are just pertaining to black people, as far as like what we still go through as a whole here and all over the world. And when I talk about white supremacy, some people really take that personal to the degree that they kind of are up on the defensive. Well, you would have taken Dr. King at that as well. You know, it's not so much pointing the finger. It's more or less, well, hey, these things are happening. What are we going to do to get those things better? People talk about making America great. For a bunch of us, it was never great, and we're still trying to make it great. Dr. King didn't just say, I have a dream, just, sorry, I have kind of a mild cold that I've been fighting. I have a dream, just for, jollies, or just to give you some ammo to throw at people that are talking about the nightmares that many people of of African descent face. It was more or less, he had that dream to point out where we need to go, and in pointing that out, he also made it a point to be upfront about what was going on. He was very upfront, and I think that's, no, I don't think, I know that's the reason that he was assassinated. You know, when you're standing up for righteousness, you never know what happens. You never know what will happen. You know, and he was one of those people that would point out the things that were wrong and that needed to happen. And he was martyred for it. You know, so anyone that claims about Dr. King, especially, like the white people that have hit me up about just my positions on what I think about this country, because I don't particularly care for a lot of the things that are happened unjustly. I'm glad that I've been able to grow up around different people, but there's still things that are happening in this country that should not be happening, especially if it claims to be as free as it is. Since America is like this beacon or whatever. And but just to get back to what I'm saying, there are things that Dr. King did, not just protest, but also, you know, he spoke out against. I guess you could say it's both. Sorry, um, and it got him under a bunch of fire. And what that means for me today is not that I want to be under. Who wants to be under fire? Nobody, you know. But Dr. King, if anything, just, he didn't shy away on issues that needed to be faced. He didn't just bury it under the rug and say forgive. or just like, I Have a Dream was the only speech that he made. No, there are a lot of speeches that he made, and many of those speeches were controversy because he was pointing things out that America needed to live up to, because America was claiming to be something that it wasn't. And it's, I mean, you know, when you want something to be better, you're going to point that thing out so you don't want it to be worse or get even more disease than it is, you know? Lots of great things we have, but at the same time, there are a lot of things, and it's not equal. A lot of things that need to be attained, you know, when it comes to justice, freedom, justice, and equality, with a lot of things that are going on, especially with black people here, you know. You get people that'll talk all this vitriol and hate, and then they'll accuse you of not only being hateful because you speak out against their hatefulness towards you, but then they'll try to tell you to forgive. The thing I liked about Dr. King, of course, this goes back to, the true faith of Christianity and not this false, you know, imperialist, like a white supremacist version of it. He actually did forgive, but at the same time, he would not let people use that forgiveness for a vice. Granted, I'm not telling people what to do. You do whatever you want as far as forgiving and whatnot. But I'm just saying, for those that forgive, you got to make sure that you're not just, forgiving and forgetting stuff like that. You got to make sure that you're making sure that your rights and other people's rights are not being violated. That's where the forgiveness, forgive for yourself. It's between you and God, but make sure that your rights are not going to be violated, because not only will your rights be violated, but other people's rights will be violated, and that should not give an excuse for a person to just do the same thing again. So, I admire that about King too, because he kept on. And it's the reason that, he, is not here anymore, because he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop standing up for righteousness. And that's what we need to do in this day and age, no matter where you're coming from, no matter what color you are, no matter what socioeconomic background you are from. Stand up for righteousness, no matter what. And just be straight up about it. Dr. King was. He let you know that the system was a one-sided system, a white supremacist system. And when I say white supremacy, I'm just saying this system basically is something that you have to assimilate in, that was made for white people, by white people, but on the backs of a lot of other people. So, and it's not to demonize white people. This is just a situation that we have to point out, because it's a reality of the situation. And we need to change it into a system of justice that's equal justice for everyone, not just be one-sided and and racist. It's not good. That's not good. We have to have a system of justice instead of a system of inequality. That way, when we have a system of justice, that's when the dream will be fulfilled. Peace.